Is that possible? This is my grandson. This is a grandson. This is another grandson. Run. And this is a friend of ours. And this is what? The friend. The friend of ours. Run. Okay. Okay. Let's move now.
Thank you.
So if you want, if you understand a little bit Hebrew, these two guys, they're talking in Hebrew. They told the story of midanek by telling the story of one leg.
One day and one day
Another a testimonial that the lady was a midanek. She wasn't. She was here and she survived and she go to Israel, and her son is a famous one in Israel. He's a composer, very big composer in Israel. So that is they tell the story of this lady, what happened when she came by the train, how they go, what happened they came, and then they told one day when they came from the waking, all 24 hours in the day. So you go to these blocks, you see over there, these blocks.
Yeah.
Over there,
They took him to the showers. To the famous.
Over there is a museum.
To the famous showers.
Over the blocks you can see all the things.
And over there where the dome is.
The dome is
the
crematorium. Is the crematorium. After
not only this, they made they made from the fat of the body, they made soap.
Yes.
I was in the military. I joined the Russians. I came back as a liberator. From the partisans, they caught one group after another, and I didn't want to be caught anymore. So I asked for the midnight watch. I left my belt with the hand grenades and everything else, with the rifle. I left it.
How old are you?
Huh?
How old are you?
How old? I'm now 84.
Ah, you look good.
Yes,
Just a moment, I want that you tell the story to the children, one that you was a partisan. They don't understand what is a partisan, okay?
Belgians, Sandomjes, Krasnodar. This is all the places where our partisan groups were. But what the Nazis did, they infiltrated Polish guys into the camp. And then they asked for a chofesh, what you call in your language, a chofesh, to go home to visit the families. When they went back, they reported to the Nazis. They reported where the groups are hiding. We were hiding in the ground, on top of the covered with trees and stuff like this and so on. So they began to catch one group after a group. So I decided, you know something, if I was able to get away from 4 slave labor camps, and I ran for my life. I knew I'm going to be shot, but I took my chances. I didn't want to go to the camp. At that time, we already knew that we are being taken to crematoriums, whether it's Auschwitz or Treblinka or Majdanek and so on. So I took my chance and kept on going north.
How is How years old you was in that time?
At that time, I left home. My mother kissed me on my forehead, gave me a loaf of bread and some onions and apples, and said, "Go ahead, my child, save yourself." I was 16. And I was running until then the court, when I left, so I asked the leader of our group, I asked him, I said, like, give me the midnight watch. So they gave me the midnight watch, took off my belt with the hand grenades and all, left the rifle, and I kept on going north. And after the 4th day in hiding, in the daytime I was hiding, in the nighttime you kept on going. And out of the blue, I was caught by 2 guys under my arms. I didn't know who they were. I knew they are not Polish. They are not Germans. And then they started to beat me left and right, and maybe they thought I'm a spy or whatever it is, and they started to talk between themselves. They spoke Russian. In Polish language, with the Russian language, is you catch an awful lot of words. And I started to smile. They hit me again. And actually they took me into a point where they shave your hair, take away everything that you have, and I wound up in a slave labor camp, and they took us all the way out to 80 kilometers from Moscow. At that time, in 1942, the Polish government, when the Germans came in, the Polish government went to London, England, in exile, and then they demanded that, hey, wait a minute, you have a country with 35 million, go ahead, create an army, go ahead, fight the Germans, just as we do. And at that time, I volunteered. They didn't take me. The second time, I was caught in Moscow, and I was at that time already going on 18, and I came back to Poland in Polish uniform, but under the Russian leadership.
Yeah.
So I came back as a liberator, and when I came in, and I got a good rank, I was a lieutenant, and I became chief quartermaster. So when I came into the Polish territory, beginning with Ukraine, you know, so I put 2 pieces of cardboard back in front. I'm a Jewish officer, if you are Jewish. Come to me, identify yourself. At that time, I was able to do a lot of work. I chased out the Germans, brought into Poland what they call the Volksdeutsch, you know, to occupy Poland. I came in and I chased them out under the gun from the building, and I took in the concentration inmates, took off their uniforms, gave them clothing, whatever they needed, food, blankets, and so on, and I sent them on their merry way. Each one tried to go back to their places of birth, but the transportation, we didn't have it, and so on. So in certain areas, Gleiwitz was one of them, Radom was another one, in Lublin, in many other places. What you see here, in the area of Lublin, there are many, many towns. There was such a strong Jewish communities with such a conviction in the dream of every Jew in the diaspora was only one day that we're going to have a Jewish homeland. And this is where you guys come in. When I look at you, my heart grows out of joy to see you all here. Thank you.
Thank you for listening.
It's his first time
Okay.
back in Poland for over 60 years, as of 2 days ago. And so we went to Kippur in Israel, we were in Jerusalem, and then we were in Moscow, where he was during the war as well. And it's the first time that he or our Bubba or his wife has been back in Poland. So it's a real blessing that for him to be able to be with you. So from our family, thank you, because it's very special.
I wanted to take my entire family a few years ago to come with me, but my wife, I was her liberator. She was in hiding, and she posed as a Christian girl.
Yeah.
And I took care of her, and she was all alone. The whole family was taken away. So I just couldn't leave her. I wound up marrying her. And I'm married to her for 62 years. So, and I have 3 children, 7 grandchildren, and the life goes on regardless. But thank God that we have accomplished. כן, אתה מבין? אבל לא יכול לדבר פלואנט.
מדבר טוב?
כן, אני יודע לקרוא עיתון, אני יודע לכתוב.
Thank you very much.
14 years and then we got out of the kibbutz, had children, if you get...
You live in Israel also?
Yeah, sure.
Now in
He just died 3 years ago. Yeah, just died 3 years ago, and I have leases in Moshav Tzipori.
Ah, nice place.
Yeah.
Nice place.
Yes.
What is your family name?
Tasman.
Tasman.
Tet, Vav, Zayin, Nem, Nun.
Tasman. These guys belong to kibbutz in Israel. Ideal of a kibbutz.
Yes.
The work only take children to this tour.
I know.
This is the ideology of them to
My,
make.
my brother,
Yes,
Yeshiva Chachma Leblin,
Yes.
Rav Shapira,
yes.
he was a student here.
We will be in Chachmelo.
This is the one who was living in
We
Israel.
will be.
My father sent him at the age of 17
Yes.
just to
learn
be part of building the Jewish homeland.
We will be in Chachmelo.
Today after we go to the
Chachmelo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, let's go.